说中文。
Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hello there, Ellies. I'm Ken Carroll.
Hi there, I'm Jenny.
We have what I think is a fascinating lesson today, Jenny.
We are singing today what you just heard.
We have what I would call a cultural gold mine for you here today.
I agree.
Not only do you get the language, but you get the culture, the history, and all sorts of kind of interesting insights. Because we're talking about a young chap who actually died in 1963, in fact.
At the age of 22.
The age of 22. And his name was?
雷锋. 雷锋.
雷锋.
对.
Second and first tone, isn't that right?
Yes.
雷锋.
And you cannot not know that name in
China.
It's such an important part of our culture. He is a young chap who served in the army.
PLA.
And did countless great things, altruistic things.
This man was an altruist, a selfless
对
altruist who spent his entire life, it would seem, going around helping old ladies and darning socks for the PLA, and you name it, he was there doing
对
it. Yeah.
And he is our 榜样.
A 榜样.
榜样.
That's a great expression there. 榜样. Tell us something about the 榜样.
榜样, third and fourth tone, means a role model.
Role model. Yeah.
So basically, after Lei Feng's death,
Yeah.
His good deeds
Yes.
became known to the public.
Yes.
And the government started this campaign,
Yes.
which encourages us to learn from Lei Feng.
Good. Now
This good role model.
Great. Now this campaign was called
学习雷锋
学习雷锋.
好榜样.
That's right. Now learn from Lei Feng,
对
the role model. Now
And they even wrote a song about
they
it.
wrote
and
lots of songs about it, actually.
This particular song, we're
Yeah.
going to hear only one sentence, one phrase.
Yeah.
I think half of the entire population in China can sing it.
For sure.
对
For sure. So it's hard to overestimate. I mean, as I said, it emerged after 1963. We'll go into it, how it emerged and why it emerged, I think, later in the lesson. But this phenomenon of Lei Feng and 学习雷锋, it swept across schools, the military.
Even until now.
Until now, it's still come. You still see it in schools. You see it written on blackboards when you walk around
对
schools and stuff
学习
like
雷锋
that. Yeah. And so culturally, it is a gold mine. We couldn't even possibly cover,
对
the significance of it here. So anyway, let's have a listen to the dialogue because it's based on the song, in fact. And it's kind of funny. I think David did an awesome job on this recording. And I know that you actually directed this. You are the director for this one. I think it's really funny. It's really interesting. There's a gold mine of language and culture. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But let's listen 3 times to the dialogue.
对话第一遍。
学习雷锋好榜样。停！学习雷锋，注意学习。来，
学习雷锋
很好，继续。
好榜样。
大家注意，榜样，好榜样。再来，
学习雷锋好榜样。学习雷锋好榜样。
第二遍。
学习雷锋好榜样。
停！学习雷锋，注意学习。来，
学习雷锋
很好，继续。
好榜样。
大家注意，榜样，好榜样。再来，
学习雷锋好榜样。
第三遍。
学习雷锋好榜样。
停！学习雷锋，注意学习。 来，
学习雷锋，
很好，继续。
好榜样。
大家注意，榜样，好榜样。再来，
学习雷锋，
好榜样。A choir practicing the song.
You know, I think the best dialogues on Chinese Pot are the ones where there's a lot that you infer, right? You have to.
Yes.
It's not everything is not explained, spelled out for you. Like the relationship between this teacher who is so 认真, he's so
So keen, enthused.
Yeah. And these kind of young kids who are just slightly
学习
less.
雷锋。
It's kind of funny and it's very typical, I think. Wow. Anyway, so let's take a look at the language. Let's take it from the top.
好，学习雷锋好榜样。
So learn from the great example of Lei Feng.
学习雷锋好榜样。
Learn from the role model, Lei Feng.
学习雷锋好榜样。停，学习雷锋，注意学习。来，
Okay, stop. Now, learn from Lei Feng. Notice the learn again.
停，学习雷锋，注意学习。来，
Okay, stop everybody. Now, we're talking learn from Lei Feng, right? Take note of the learn. Now, again.
停，学习雷锋，注意学习。来，学习雷锋，
Okay, so learn from Lei Feng.
很好，继续，
Very good. Continue.
很好，继续，
Very good. Now continue.
很好，继续。好榜样，
Good example.
好榜样，
Great role model.
好榜样。大家注意，榜样，好榜样。再来，
Now, be careful, everyone. Take note of the example. Good example. So, once more.
大家注意，榜样，好榜样。再来，
Now, everyone take note of the example. Good example. One more time.
大家注意，榜样，好榜样。再来，学习雷锋，好榜样。
Great stuff. Now, there's a lot of repetition and patterns here, but there's a lot of other interesting stuff. Let's just look at the first sentence because this covers a lot of what appears later.
学习雷锋，好榜样。
Now, 学习雷锋 just means study. 雷锋.
Learn from，
Learn from.
对，
Yeah.
好榜样
Yeah. Now, we said that the 榜样 means
，role model，
role model.
对
And the 好榜样 is a good role model.
model.
Now, how would we say a bad role model?
坏榜样。
Wow.
坏榜样，
坏榜样。
对。So
Wow.
in school, very often you will have a star student
Yes, who's a
who is a 好榜样
Yeah.
and the teacher says, "Oh, we have to learn from 这个好榜样，学习他的好榜样。然后不要学坏榜样。
yeah. Don't learn from the bad egg.
对
Yeah. Great stuff, amazing stuff. Now, the director here, he's in control. He's so prissy and so focused here, and he's like leading them on. So he's telling them to stop, and he just says,
停，停，
"Ting." Second tone, right?
对
Ting just basically means stop. You can use it in any context.
，yes，
Now, he's telling them you need to pay attention. So the verb here to take note of or pay attention to is
注意，注意。
注意.
Two fourth tones.
Yeah.
Again, very good mnemonic.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Emphasize.
to this.
注意。
注意. That's right. Now, he's telling them to 注意学习.
对
Right? It's to pay attention to
this
the
word.
学习, this
对
particular word. Now, and when you're calling them to continue or to again, you just say
来，
来,
来，
来. So first of all, he says stop. He says,
停，停，
gives them their instruction, and then he tells them to continue. He says
来，
来,
来。
which literally means come, of course.
Yes.
Now off they go. He uses the term. Then later he uses the term continue.
继续，继续。
继续. 2/4 again, right?
You're right.
继续.
对，
So you have 停, 来,
继续.
I stop, go, continue. There
对。
you have the instructions. If ever you want to lead a choir in China, this is what you have to do. Now, he's going, we've had it, the 好榜样. No, not the 好榜样.
好榜样，
Because here's a point. When they sing it like,
好榜样，
all right, so the fourth tone drops,
对
right? Remember, so when you're speaking,
，cause it's musical，
that's right. So when you're speaking, you say,
好榜样，好榜样，
that's right, 好榜样. But when they're singing, they sing it more like,
好榜样。You're learning fast，
oh, yeah,
看
yeah, yeah.
你在学习雷锋，
You are my 好榜样. 好榜样.
不敢当。
Yes, interesting stuff. Now he's going, so everybody pay attention to the,
大家注意榜样，大家注意榜样，
yeah, so everybody pay attention to the
榜样
pronunciation here.
对，
Now, one more time, and he uses one more phrase. He says, now again, please.
再来，
再来. So he could just say 来 or 再来.
再来，
Or
对。
to continue, he could say 继续.
继续，
All right. And off they go, and they do 继续
对的。
as requested. Now, that is just really interesting. Now, culturally, there's some points I want to chat with you about, Jenny, but let's listen to that 3 more times.
Welcome back to another installment of Chinese Pod Trivia. And the question for you is, for what test does Chinese Pod offer preparation services for? Is it A, the polygraph, B, the colonoscopy, C, the HSK test, or D, the CAT scan?
The CAT scan?
Ooh, sorry, that is incorrect. The correct answer is C, the HSK test. That's right, Chinese Pod will thoroughly prepare you to pass this rigorous test of proficiency in Chinese. ChinesePod.com/HSK.
对话第一遍。
学习雷锋好榜样。停，学习雷锋，注意学习。来，学习雷锋，很好，继续。好榜样，大家注意，榜样，好榜样。再来，学习雷锋，好榜样。
第二遍。
学习雷锋好榜样。停，学习雷锋，注意学习。来，学习雷锋，很好，继续。好榜样，大家注意，榜样，好榜样。再来，学习雷锋，好榜样。
第三遍。
学习雷锋好榜样。停，学习雷锋，注意学习。来，学习雷锋，很好，继续。好榜样，大家注意，榜样，好榜样。再来，学习雷锋，好榜样。
So Ken, let's dig up some cultural gold.
Yeah. So this all started in 63, right? It was Mao himself, I think. It came from Mao himself.
对。
Came into possession. Mao came into possession of Lei Feng's diary. Now, Lei Feng, at the tender age of like 22 or whatever, had been in the PLA, had been selfless, had been, renowned amongst, the people who knew him as just.
He would just go out of his way, helping people,
Yes.
doing good things for them,
Yeah.
and even at his own expense.
Absolutely.
If he only had $1, he would give it to someone.
That's right. He would share his food. He would work longer. He would stay up through the night. He would help in any scenario. And he was animated, of course, by this sort of revolutionary fervor.
Yes.
Which was very, very prevalent in the 60s. And it sort of presaged the later 60s as well in an interesting
Well,
way.
my parents said, in the 50s and 60s,
Yeah.
the general social mood
Yeah.
is very positive and altruistic.
Absolutely.
So you can leave your home without closing your door, not
Yeah.
locking, but without closing your door,
That's
and
right.
nobody would come to your home and steal stuff.
That's right. And so, I think he died in relative anonymity, as I understand it. But
Accident.
It was, an accident. A telegraph pole fell on him. He was like,
对
he was helping out with an army truck or something, backing
they
it up.
were- yeah.
And it hit the telegraph pole and it fell and killed him, the poor fella.
对
And of course, he died in yet another act of altruism, And so, his diary, where he had sort of written about this.
雷锋日记
Yeah, his 日记 came into the possession of Mao Zedong, who thought, wow, this guy's a role model. He is a
榜
榜样
样，我们都要向雷锋学习。
That's right. And boy, did they turn him into a bangyang because it spread all across the country. And Mao was particularly adept at doing this style of communication. That was his thing.
Yes.
And before you knew it, it was everywhere.
Yeah, there's a day every year called 雷锋日。
Oh, there still is?
对, the day of 雷锋. So on that day,
Yeah.
there's a heightened emphasis to commemorate 雷锋 by helping people,
Yeah.
doing good things.
It's really interesting because the two cultural attitudes here are quite different. I mean, Chinese generally believe this, right? That he did
Of course,
exist.
what do you mean?
No, he's a historical figure. We know that. But when you show, like, to Westerners, you show them, like, this diary, the stories of the stuff he's purported to have done, it kind of, most Western people are a little bit sitting going, like, no, nobody's this good.
Whereas I think even though a lot of Chinese people are cynical of certain things,
Yeah.
雷锋 and the story, the 榜样,
Yeah, it's kind of
people are
interesting.
not cynical about
Nobody
it.
questions it.
Yeah,
It's kinda-
we go to kindergarten learning
Yeah.
about 雷锋, singing this song. So
Yeah, so it's really interesting. To be honest, I mean, a lot of Westerns were kind of like smirking at it. There's no way. This doesn't make any sense. But interesting, when I talk to Chinese friends, they kind of say, well, I think they don't really care. It's like, yeah, we kind of, maybe it's a myth, maybe it's not, but we kind of accept it. And it's, I don't know, it's not a big deal. So it's an interesting cultural difference there.
对
Wow, we could talk about this forever because there's so much in it. And there's all that 60s period, which is a fascinating, the early 60s. I'm talking even before 66. The early 60s is a phenomenally interesting period in Chinese history. And he's right in the thick of it. It's so revealing. Anyway, we don't have time for that, unfortunately. We hope the lesson was useful. We hope
对
it was fruitful. We can guarantee you that it has historical and cultural significance. So go and 学习雷锋, do some research, find out what you can about
好
him. Absolutely.
Time to say 再见
All right, see you tomorrow. 再见。
好榜样，毛主席的骄傲继续唱，全心全意为人民，共产主义拼得多高尚，共产主义拼得多高尚。
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number
1055.
So just go to www.chinesepod.com/1055 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/1055.